So my name is Zen, and I'm working with Nicole, Jeung, and Ki. And for our media analysis group project for KPE200, we're going to be discussing the physical culture of bodybuilding.
The physical culture within the chosen resource is competitive bodybuilding. The bodybuilders face nutritional and diet-centered obstacles taking place where they cook and eat their meals, as well as physical challenges at the gym and on stages in front of judges. A bodybuilder's success lies in the ability to meet certain physical appearances. Our media piece is a bodybuilding documentary, which is a film consisting of numerous interviews with Kevin Wilson, a highly renowned bodybuilder who speaks on his experience in this physical culture. Wilson talks about his past with bodybuilding, steroids, and his interaction with and training other bodybuilders. The video starts with the physical body being embedded in bodybuilding, which goes through its activities, norms, customs, values, symbols, materials, and meanings. Kevin's responses reveal different aspects of bodybuilding, such as a culture of pain, normalized disordered eating, and injection of steroids and supplements to further emphasize masculinity and muscularity. Kevin's responses review the norm among the bodybuilding community of how ideal bodybuilding requires one to endure a significant amount of pain and go through a strict diet to achieve the goal of a muscular, masculine body. Wilson also argues that taking steroids and performance-enhancing supplements should not be demonized, as there is nothing wrong with trying to receive a preferred body type. Overall, bodybuilding is seen historically and contemporary as a masculine sport focused on creating a muscular body to present dominant powers. Jeung Sando is one of the individuals responsible for the global fascination with bodybuilding, being a strongman and vaudeville performer. He would travel around the world showcasing the interesting shape of his body. During this time, Sando would work to eliminate the view of bodybuilding being a display of freakish strength, transforming public conceptions into the idea that it can be something integrated into anyone's daily life. Bodybuilding also has many historical implications popularized by Jeung Sando in 1901 and 1911. The physical culture became a widespread tool for setting standards for bodily beauty and fertility. His cultural impact on the bodybuilding community is still seen today with the same values and ideas of normalization, bodybuilding, and muscular body types being upheld. Around the time of Sando's fame, a new idea of beauty was being developed through a better understanding of human autonomy. The idea of manliness and masculinity was beginning to be challenged. Through Sando's development in bodybuilding, a new idea of manly beauty began to form. In this context, understanding the body as a machine can be viewed to connect with the capitalist workplace and enforce competition between nations. The global fascination with building a body that is muscular and shaped in a desired manner would spread as Sando traveled the world to showcase his fitness achievements.
Modern bodybuilding has several historical and cultural implications shaping the behavior of its participants and those surrounding its physical culture, as well as creating and reproducing societal norms. We have identified four main issues within the physical culture of our choice: the body being viewed as an object, the body being viewed as a machine, ideas of power and race, and ideas of hegemonic masculinity. We can see the concept of the body as a machine throughout the documentary. Treating the body as a machine is common for individuals participating within the physical culture and will often subscribe to the idea of viewing the body as a machine and as an object that they can fine-tune to produce the most optimal outcomes. This is shown through the way the bodybuilders go through many discomforts to achieve a body that is culturally and socially acceptable in their environment. This notion highlights how within the physical culture of bodybuilding, it is easy for the bodybuilders to forget that their bodies provide a function for them beyond pushing physical limits. Further, through additional research, we can understand the historical influence of viewing the body as a machine. Throughout the late 19th century to early 20th century, Jeung Sando, a prominent figure in the history of bodybuilding, described the body as the human machine. Moreover, the body is seen as a machine through values upheld within bodybuilding. One central value being efficiency, which is valued in both training and in dieting. Additionally, the body is seen as not a living being, but as a capsule of parts to change and improve based on its requirements. The bodybuilders demonstrate this in their focused muscular changes to gain higher standings in competition. The physical culture of bodybuilding perpetuates notions of the body being seen as an object. Bodybuilding displays the behaviors of seeing one's body and mind as separate, with ownership of the body belonging to the mind. The bodybuilding community will often understand the body as an object that exists independently of them, which can provide an understanding of why the physical culture implements harsh regulations. accounting for their physical and mental health is often left behind when understanding the body to be an object. This notion is demonstrated through the treatment of the body as something that's to be disciplined through restrictive dieting and extreme gym sessions, as well as high frequencies of gym visits. Even substance use or abuse is normalized. The body is seen as something to mold into an aesthetic to be consumed by the judges and expectations of the physical culture. Another important topic revealed by the documentary is about power relations and how they are important to understanding the implementation of hierarchies within society. These power structures have certain people ranked over others, forcing them beneath them to be subservient to the rules set by them. This does not account for the differences in social, cultural, and economic capital that individuals at the top of the hierarchy often have. The power struggle is a large part of the human condition, as society often struggles with finding equality within power distribution for the individuals in a community. Likewise, demonstrated through the poses done by bodybuilders and seeing which bodies win competitions, the notion of superiority of people with more social capital, biopower, and certain bodies are very prevalent in the physical culture. Bodybuilders will showcase their muscles to display racial superiority, as it allows for the depiction of physical strength by observers and would exude a sense of superiority over populations who have been colonized and are often viewed as lazy and weak. Within this physical culture, the ideas of masculinity, strength, beauty, health, and nationalism work with one another to establish the new body ideal, which may be interpreted as a response to face the issues faced in modern society. Bodybuilding would reinforce the idea that men are more powerful and stronger than women by adopting practices to become physically larger and assert dominance. These values are centered in hegemonic masculinity. These beliefs are validated through the documentary, Wilson mentioning that the bigger guys get more respect. Likewise, Wilson and bodybuilders in the documentary also make comments describing bodybuilding as a popular way to prioritize masculine characters such as bulked muscles over woman characteristics. These characteristics are seen as inferior within bodybuilding. As one of them says, it's a woman thing. This is reinforced historically as well. Sandow was also guilty of endorsing values of hegemonic masculinity, believing that women could not bear those same weight training routines men would complete, advertising his fitness ideas to women differently. We can understand this as historically relevant, as for decades the ideas of masculinity has been constructed through perpetuating ideas of men being physically powerful as a way for them to assert their manliness.
Physical culture can be further understood as an approach to learning about how our physical bodies intersect with the psychological and behavioral aspects of the human experience to demonstrate a well-rounded understanding of both human anatomy and the thought processes. The societal norms, values, and beliefs will play a significant role in shaping the way humans behave individually and within the context of a community to appease internalized values alongside socially accepted beliefs. The concept of the human condition encompasses what it feels like to be a person in our society. The human condition varies from person to person, as a classification of individuals regarding their race, gender, religion, sex, etc. can often provide them with a different experience from their peers in society, exhibiting unequal power relations. Throughout the documentary, these notions of hegemonic masculinity were displayed. This also has gendered implications by taking historically feminine qualities, docility, emotions, kindness, etc., and determining them as lesser and unneeded in the space of bodybuilding. The documentary highlights how the mindset of the bodybuilder comes from historically constructed rules and regulations that have been in place for decades and are seen as a standard for the participants, and they will rarely deviate from them. Likewise, athletes can be seen to worship those who have achieved great success relative to the idea of achievement within the physical culture and begin to internalize their techniques for success. Secondly, bodybuilding's physical culture also directly reflects the view of the body as an object. In the work of Conrad, we can see how the history of bodybuilding in the 19th and 20th century directly led to the popularization of viewing the body as manipulable, docile, and at the service of the mind. These ideals reign over modern bodybuilding, seen in the documentary. The physical culture of bodybuilding is contextualized and embedded in societal norms. These norms that were produced in the early days of bodybuilding and are still upheld today. This is also prevalent in our contemporary liberal capitalist society, valuing one's capability to prevail and persevere even when the physical body is being assailed. And finally, the body as a machine. Understanding the body as a machine is done through internalizing the belief that bodies are only valued when they are functioning and presenting themselves in their most optimal form. Pushing our physical capabilities through excessive dieting and exercise is done with the intentions of possessing a culturally idealized version of the human form. Throughout history, the characteristics of the perfect body have been developed, and this will include forming the human physique to be strong, muscular, and visually appealing. Adhering to these guidelines gives people social capital, something greatly valued in society, and enables one to gain the respect and admiration of their peers. This demonstrates the way the issue is directly embedded in society and influences these behaviors within bodybuilding. The economic system of today's society is also relevant in seeing the body as a machine. The liberal capitalist structure endorses seeing the body as a machine, one part of a working society to promote economic growth and production. These ideals bleed into bodybuilding and directly influence human behavior within the physical culture. And in relation to the human condition, people are unable to choose their bodily representations and gender. However, due to the habitus valuing behaviors such as aggression, efficiency, and muscular Christianity, as well as muscular appearances, hegemonic masculinity is reproduced within bodybuilding. These people can be held higher or lower by the population due to these notions. Having certain privileges in appearance can also show the power dynamics, allowing for the placing of people into hierarchies, which also perpetuate hegemonic masculinity. Additionally, there's a habitus of viewing the body as an object and as a machine, where it is a norm to treat the body as separate from the mind, something which seems to be an unconscious mindset for the bodybuilders in the documentary.
Kinesiologists should always commit to progressive social change. Understanding the human condition and different views of the body allows us to reveal issues within any physical cultures. A systemic change and continued promotion should be done to address these issues. By a process of denormalization, these practices could begin to decrease in frequency and lead bodybuilders to a healthier relationship with their bodies. Denormalization can help to stop old historic notions of body ownership and the reproduction of hegemonic masculinity in bodybuilding. This can be done through processes of educating and re-educating people to break down standards that reproduce harmful practices such as misuse of drugs and steroids. Changing these norms can lead to a healthier way of building strength, something less centered on aesthetics, to a more holistic and health-focused approach. Proper re-education and promotion should be done to make bodybuilding more accessible for those other than men. Instead of focusing on masculine values, multiple beliefs and values should be respected to reduce hegemonic masculinity.
Thank you guys for listening to our presentation. On the slide over here, we have the references that we used for our research.